Chapter 8. Thinking in the Certain Way. Recall Chapter 6 and listen again to the story of the man who formed a mental image of his house, and you will get a fair idea of the initial step towards abundance. Form a clear and definite mental picture of what you want. You cannot transmit an idea unless you have it yourself. You must have it before you can give it. People may fail to impress upon thinking intelligence because they have themselves only a vague and misty concept of the things they want to do, to have, or to become. It is not enough that you should have a general desire for abundance, for access to and use of many things, quote, to do good with, end quote. Many have that desire. It is not enough that you should wish to travel, see things, live more, etc. Many have those desires also. If you were going to send a wireless message to a friend, you would not send the letters of the alphabet in order and let him construct the message for himself, nor would you take words at random from the dictionary. You would send a coherent sentence, one which meant something. When you try to impress your wants on intelligence, remember that it should be done by a coherent statement. Know what you want and be definite. You can start the creative power into action just by sending out an idea. Go over your desires, just as the man I described went over his house. See what you want. Get a clear mental picture of it as you wish it to look when you get it. That clear mental picture you should have continually in mind, as the sailor has in mind the port toward which he is sailing the ship. You must keep your face toward it at all times. Lose no more sight of it than the steersman loses sight of the compass. Note. So this is more of a admonition to check the compass from time to time. To stare continuously at the compass, you miss the islands, you miss the outcroppings, and avoidable dangers, and the joys and wonders of the journey. End note. It's not necessary to take exercises in concentration, nor to set apart special times for prayer and affirmation, nor to, quote, go into the silence, end quote, nor to do occult stunts of any kind. All you need to know is what you want, and to want it strongly enough so that it stays in your thoughts. Spend as much of your leisure time as you can in contemplating the picture, but no one needs to take exercises to concentrate the mind on the thing which they really want. And unless you really want to have abundance, so that the desire is strong enough to hold your thoughts directed to the purpose as the magnetic pole holds the needle of a compass, it will hardly be worthwhile for you to try to carry out the instructions that we have discussed. The methods set forth in here are for people whose desire is strong enough, more so steadfast enough, to overcome mental obstacles and the love of ease, or comfort and habit of ease, and make them work. The more clear and definite you make your picture, and the more you dwell upon it, bringing out all its delightful details, the more firm your desire will be, the more steadfast your desire, and the easier it will be to hold your mind fixed upon the picture of what you want. Something more is necessary, however, than merely to see the picture clearly. If that is all you do, you are a dreamer and will have little or no power for the accomplishment. Behind or supporting your clear vision must be the purpose to realize it, to bring it out in tangible expression. And behind this purpose must be an invincible and unwavering faith and trust that the thing is already yours, that it is, quote, at hand, end quote, and you have only to take possession of it. Live in the new house, mentally, until it takes form around you physically. In the mental realm, enter at once into full enjoyment of the things that you want. Live as if. Organize your thoughts. Simplify and prepare as if. Jesus said, "Whatsoever things ye ask for when you pray, believe that ye receive them and ye shall have them." See the things you want as if they're actually around you all the time. See yourself as owning and using them. Make use of them in imagination just as you will use them when they are your tangible possessions. Dwell upon your mental picture until it is clear and distinct, and then take the mental attitude of ownership toward everything in that picture. Take possession of it in mind with the full faith and trust that it is actually yours. Hold to this mental ownership and do not waver for an instant in the faith and trust that it is real. And remember what was said about gratitude. Be thankful for it. Marvel at it. Be in awe all the time, as you expect to be when it has taken form. The one who can sincerely thank God for the things which he as yet owns only in imagination has real faith and trust. He will have abundance. He will cause the creation of whatsoever he wants. You do not need to pray repeatedly for the things you want. It's not necessary to tell God about it every day. Use not vain repetition as the heathens do, said Jesus to his lesson, to his pupils. For your Father knows that ye have need of these things before ye ask. Your part is to intelligently formulate your desire for the things which make for fuller life, and to get these desires arranged into a coherent whole, and then to impress this whole desire upon the formless intelligence, which has the power and the will to bring you what you want. You do not make this impression by solely repeating strings of words. You make it by holding the vision with unshakable purpose to attain it, and with steadfast trust in the formless that you do attain it. The answer to prayer is not only according to your faith and trust while you are talking, but also according to your faith and trust while you are doing. You cannot impress the mind of God by having a special Sabbath day set apart to tell him what you want and then forgetting him during the rest of the week. You cannot impress him by having special hours to go into your closet and pray if you then dismiss the matter from your mind until the hour of prayer comes again. Oral prayer does have its effect, especially upon ourselves, in clarifying the vision and strengthening our faith. But it is not only oral petitions which get us what we want. In order to have abundance, to have access to and free use of many things, You do not need a sweet hour of prayer. You need to pray without ceasing. And by prayer, I mean holding steadily to your vision with the purpose to cause its creation into solid form and the faith and trust that you are doing so. Quote, believe that you receive them. End quote. The whole matter turns on receiving, being ready to receive, once you have clearly formed the vision. When you have formed it, it is well to make an oral statement addressing the formless intelligent presence in reverent prayer. And from that moment, you must, in mind, receive what you ask for. Live in the new house, wear the fine clothes, ride in the automobile, go on the journey, and confidently plan for a greater journey. Think and speak of all the things you have asked for in terms of actual present ownership. Imagine an environment and a financial condition exactly as you want them, and live in that imaginary environment and financial condition. Mind, however, that you do not do this as a mere dreamer and castle builder. Hold to the faith and trust that the imaginary is being realized, and hold to the purpose to realize it. Remember, it is trust, faith, and purpose in the use of the imagination which make the difference between the scientist and the dreamer. And having learned this fact, it is here that you must learn the proper use of the will.